Working in Europe has to be one thing that Americans just fantasize about all the time, especially with all your guys' PTO, you know, the time off, the work-life balance, the benefits. I believe the saying is y'all work to live, whereas here in the States, it's more of living to work. Such a shame. So I understand people wanting to go work here. I don't know if we're going to check out expats, if we got locals, but we got a lot of countries that we're going to go through. Take a look at people giving little testimonies about what it's like to work inside of said country, and I'm pumped for it. Strap in, hit the like button, do whatever you need to do. Let's get going.
What are you still doing here?
Oh, I'm just finishing up a few things.
No, you need to leave. It's Feierabend. It would be considered overtime.
What's a Feierabend?
It's roughly translated to party evening, which is exactly when you finish work for the day. Which should have been you 20 minutes ago.
What's the big deal if I work a bit longer? I really want to get this done.
In Germany, we take working hours very seriously, Bren. Besides, aren't you supposed to be starting your holiday tomorrow?
Yeah, but I can answer some emails from the beach.
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
What? All right, yeah. Somebody says, and that's why we went to the moon and Germany didn't, because they don't work as much as us. What kind of comment is that? Nobody liked it. Don't worry. We get it, Germany. You're better than the US. I don't need to be reminded. I'm telling you guys, Americans fantasize about this. Someone says cries in Brazil. I don't even want to think about what the work culture is like in Brazil. Is it pretty crazy? They came up in the news the other day. What was going on in Brazil? I don't remember.
You said you had a question about your contract?
American's first time working in Germany.
Yes, so on my contract, it says 4 weeks of paid vacation.
Yes. And your question?
What do I need to do to get those? Like, how many years do I have to work at the company?
You get those
Yep.
every year?
4 weeks of PTO every single year.
You seem surprised.
I had a previous job that the first year, this was 12, 13 years ago. The first, it might have been longer than that, 15 years ago. The first year, you didn't get any PTO, so no time off. Second year, you get 1 week. And then I think it was either at 3 or 5 years. I think it was at 3 years, you get 2 weeks of PTO. At 5 years, you got 3 weeks. And then if you were there for an entire decade, you got 4 weeks. I was like, that's commitment. You want me to stay here for 10 years working in a garage door warehouse?
It is so nice that you're doing that. That is every company.
Well, I just can't believe German companies are that nice.
Well, they are not. They are simply following the law.
You have a law that tells companies how much PTO they have to give their employees?
You cannot really be that surprised again.
That's funny. American finding out you don't have to earn PTO in Germany. Somebody says 4 weeks is actually quite little. That has 10,000 likes on it. That seems okay. Obviously, no, I mean, I would take as much time off as I possibly could, but 4 weeks I think that's a whole month. You get a whole month out of the year off from work, and somebody said that's little, and everyone likes it. Me watching from the U.S. This is the bad place. So it says 4 weeks. I got 7. 7 weeks. 30 paid vacation days. My friend has 37. We both live in Munich. 37. I don't even. You got to be making a lot of money, though, right? Like, what do you do with your time off? You can't go on that many vacations or holidays, because how would you afford that?
Meet Michael Müller, an average German. Like most Germans, Michael leaves home for work. As an average full-time employee, he'll work 40.4 hours this week and earn 22.65 euros per hour. Today, Julia is here.
Hi.
32% of German employees have kissed a colleague, and the office summer party was just last week. Most Germans...
Wait, what? We got kissing
Julia is here.
stats?
Hi.
32% of German employees...
32% of German employees have kissed a colleague. Makes sense, though. I remember when I used to work in a bar, I probably kissed about 32% of the women there, so makes sense.
kissed a colleague, and the office summer party was just last week. Most Germans spent 15 to 30 minutes on lunch. Michael ate his in 13.2 minutes, so he has time for a coffee. Michael doesn't mind his job. In fact, 60% of Germans are satisfied with their job. It's 5:35
That's
p.m.
good.
and it's Feierabend, the end of the workday.
All right, somebody says, similar to the USA, besides the lack of sick and vacation hours we have. I work around 65 hours on average per of forced overtime or I lose my job. Yeah, that's like one thing that we have. Maybe some of you have this as well, where if your employer, you're set to work 40 hours in the week and then you have to work overtime. I had to deal with this a lot when I did construction. I used to build bridges as a carpenter, and it would be the 40 normal hours, and then 2 or 3 days out of the week, they would just say, we're working overtime today. There's no, do you want to work overtime? It's just, you're working overtime. Same thing when I worked in restaurants. And we need you to work a double today. I was like, well, I kind of had plans at 2 p.m. And legit, if you don't work it, they won't come out and say that they'll fire you over it, but you might lose your job if you don't work the overtime. Not everyone in Germany works like that. In some jobs, they work around 10 days in a row before getting an off day. Kind of like a firefighter, right? Or like a medical professional. I know our firefighters work 24-hour shifts. So they'll work for like 5 days and then they get 5 days off. Pretty cool. I was always interested in that job, a firefighter.
Guten Morgen.
You work in a German corporate job and this is how every Monday meeting sounds like.
Na zusammen, wie war das Wochenende? Auf jeden Fall zu kurz. Ja, aber was muttert muss, ne? Ach, ist das wieder herrlich, mit euch am Morgen rumzualbern. Aber na, dann wollen wir...
This is like a ripoff of the American work culture video. I feel like all jobs are kind of like this, like big corporate jobs when you have to get on a Zoom. Let's see here. Yeah, somebody says every country has the same experience. Office day in Berlin. Damn, she looks like she got a nice job. Let me guess. She works in marketing. Maybe? Dude, this place is nice. Got your own little kitchenette in there. I don't even want to show you guys pictures of what kitchenettes in my jobs look like. Like, I would probably be pretty happy to work. Oh my god, look at the view too. She's got to have a killer job. And then for the guns and dog. Got tons of food, your own little cafeteria. Is the day over already? All right, that was pretty cool. How do I imagine my future? That's the top comment. Manifesting I can be like this and my dream job. Manifesting I can be like this. Is everyone just manifesting this woman's job? The sound of the heels. All right.
Hey, good morning.
You're late.
Point of view, working
sorry,
with a
my
German.
train was delayed.
If I'd a euro for every time somebody said that, I'd be a millionaire.
Sorry, did you already check the reports I've sent you?
Yes,
And?
I'm not complaining. Isn't that good enough?
Hey, I'm going for some lunch. You wanna come?
No, I have my own.
Okay. Not again.
Get the window.
What are you doing? You have to open it all.
Wait, how the hell did he get all the way over there so fast?
Not again.
What are you doing? You have to open it all the way for the circulation. Ja, okay, ciao. So, ein Idiot. Feierabend.
Isn't it a bit early for beer?
It's past 4.
Okay.
Prost.
Cheers.
Hallo. In die Augen schauen.
That looks like, I think I've had, maybe not that beer exactly, but I did have a German beer not too long ago, a couple of months ago. Looked really similar to that one. I wonder if I still have a photo of that. Forget it. I think I might have already shown it in a video. Looks really similar. Makes me want one right now. Somebody says it's always past 4. Always beer time. As a Japanese, I was said to get not bad, but my German husband said not bad is a good compliment. I was so confused.
Johan.
UK employees' first day in French office. All right, this should. I'm curious.
Claire.
About this.
You are early? Everything okay?
Early? It's 9:15.
Yes. You are in France, remember? We start at 9:30 after a secret coffee and breakfast.
Will we still have time to finish the pitch?
Anne,
French employees run on butter and caffeine. Productivity isn't suffering. It's fueled by croissant and self-respect. Bah, c'est un peu bobo, quoi. Sorry, when does the meeting start? It started 10 minutes ago. This is the meeting? Grab a coffee, Anne. You look like someone just cancelled cheese. Alors, non, I hate this. It looks like a child did it. Ah, this one. I love it. Excellent. So we agree? Très bien. Meeting over. That was 8 minutes. Yes, long one today.
Long one.
J'ai envie des moules frites, tiens, aujourd'hui. Anne, what are you doing for lunch? Oh, just grabbing a sandwich at my desk. No, we go to lunch like human beings. Okay, how long is lunch? Maybe an hour, maybe 2. Depends if we have a carafe or a bottle of wine.
This has got to be for an actual foreigner to come work in a culture like this, especially from the American culture. Being like, oh, we're going to go take a long lunch and maybe have a glass of wine. They would be like in complete shock. And also, I'm kind of jealous.
You drink wine at lunch? Of course, it is Wednesday. Okay. And then you just go back to work? Yes, happier. No meeting
For sure.
after 4, Anne. Oh, we have finished all the work that needed to be done today, and nobody stayed late. Why would we? We're French, not masochists. This is true. After 4 p.m., people are mentally preparing for the apéro. You can't ask them to focus. It would be cruel. And somehow the work still gets done.
All right, that was good. I like that. You look like someone just canceled cheese. That's the quote. All right, somebody says cries in USA. Pretty much, yeah. When I grow up, I want to be a French employee. Someone else says, looks like I'm moving to France. Probably not. You're probably not moving to France. Maybe. I was meant to be in French work culture. I too can get my work done in those hours and hate being forced into a longer work day. Yeah, honestly, most of my work day is just like, I don't know, tinkering around. I'm really not super focused. I get all of my work done in about 4 hours. Someone says, I want to be a French employee. Productivity is fueled by croissants and self-respect. I know I just absolutely butchered croissant there, but I got to hear it from actual French people before I start attempting it.
Life balance is basically a religion in Paris. Get into work at 9 o'clock, followed by an hour-long breakfast break at 10, then a 2-hour lunch at noon. Also, good luck trying to find any of us in August.
What? Why? I don't understand. Why do we eat breakfast before we get to work? Why is it you get to work and then you eat breakfast? I mean, it's cool, but seems like you optimize your time just a little bit more. Someone says I made a huge mistake in Paris trying to eat on my workspace. Everyone looked like I'm crazy. Yeah, I would probably make that mistake too. Especially like a new job. You know, when you get that new job and you're really working hard at it, you actually care about it when you first get it. That's where you're pulling in the extra time, the extra hours, you're staying later, you're eating at your, your desk. I feel like that usually goes away after about 3 months. You have a 1-hour breakfast break at 10 a.m. You're living in some sort of alternate reality, Paris. Been here 8 years and never seen that. I don't know. We just kind of got that feeling from 2 different videos, so I feel like it might be valid.
Coming from New York City, there was a lot I had to get used to about French work culture. First off, the French cherish their long lunch break. We almost always go out to eat with our coworkers. There was a time once when I tried to schedule a meeting with a French client at 1 p.m. and I got a response from a very unhappy client correcting me that between the hours of 12 and 2 p.m., I was not allowed to schedule any meetings because the company had dedicated lunch and fitness time. 2 hours. On top of that, after arriving at like 9:30, usually around 10 a.m., you'll take a coffee break with several of your colleagues and another one in the afternoon. Although the pace and the socialization aspects of the long lunch break and coffee breaks are nice, I don't like how it elongates your day. You're a bit less efficient. There are days where I'd really just want to get my work done and leave, and if that means eating at my desk, I'm okay with that, but that's not really a thing here. The infamous month of August. If you heard that all of France is on vacation in the month of August, you are absolutely correct. Most companies require you to take a minimum of 2 weeks off in the month of August. My boyfriend's company requires that he takes 3 weeks off in August, which basically means you will not get to work with French people for the entire month. Honestly, even though I love how...
Oh, that sounds so nice. 3 weeks off in August? You know what is so crazy? The culture that I grew up in was, we're aware that a lot of people take time off in summer, and it's like that Gary Vaynerchuk guy. I can hear him in my head. Like, when everyone is relaxing and taking time off, you got to go harder. You go in all the way. It's so
The
stupid.
French really value vacation time, and in my case, I get 7 weeks off. I don't so much like the idea of everyone leaving in August. It's basically a lost month where you can't get any work done. None of your friends are around because everyone's on vacation. And if you yourself decide to go on vacation, the prices are insanely expensive because everyone has to take vacation at the same time. And if you're in the corporate world, you'll notice that most new grads start their jobs at 24 or 25 years old versus the US, which is a lot younger. That's because in France, you're needed what's called a Bac plus 5, which is basically a master's degree on top of your 4-year bachelor degree. Speaking of degrees, one thing I really hate about French culture is the elitism and the fact that your school will define you for a majority of your adult life. A very common question that you'll be asked in a French corporation
I don't think that's just a French thing. I think that's kind of a everywhere thing, right?
is what school did you go to? French people still talk about the grande école that they went to in their 40s and 50s. It's a really important status label.
Yeah. I don't know. I never even had a degree, but I remember applying to a lot of places that would ask me for my degree. And I was always hesitant. I was like, yeah, I was a marketing director. You really need the degree? All right. When everyone vacations at the same time, you don't have time to play catch up when you go back to work. Why be forced to spend 2 hours with coworkers when you could be someplace you want with friends? There's a little bit of truth in that, but unless you're collaborating with your coworkers while you're on a 2-hour lunch break, like about work, it might be a little more productive. But is a school as a status label really different from NYC though? People in NYC still flaunt their prep schools well into their 50s. Yeah, true. School, I don't know. I feel like school's not becoming as important for us. I don't know about your guys' countries, but it seems in the new age, in 2026, a diploma when every single person has a diploma really isn't as important anymore. I could be wrong though.
Hi, my name is Fatima, and I'm an American
I would look
who's been
for
living in
work
Paris
experience
for about 6-7 years now, and I have some observations about French work culture. First things first, the French take their vacations, and they use them. Come August, no one's at work. Offices are empty. Heck, even the city of Paris is empty. You'll hear more English than you'll hear French. Truly. The French take a lot of smoke breaks, so it's not uncommon for your colleagues to go on a smoke break at 10 a.m. and then 4 p.m. Usually it's 4 p.m.
That's not bad.
And
2 smoke breaks?
And you can go on them if you don't smoke too. In the US, we're paid every 2 weeks. In France, you're paid at the end of the month. So you're paid once a month.
Okay. I actually prefer getting paid once a month. It's kind of nice, and you can pay everything at once, and then all your finances are kind of handled for the whole month.
Speaking of which, doing your taxes in France takes 10 minutes.
That sounds like a dream. 10 minutes to do your taxes? I have to hire somebody that works for months to do my taxes.
Seriously, it takes 10 minutes, and you can do it on your own. You don't have to pay for someone to do it, and it's not that complicated to do. Whereas in the US, usually you have to pay someone to do it, and it's a cumbersome process.
Yeah, you can do your taxes by yourself here in the US. It's just, you're probably going to mess something up. They have these companies like TurboTax that will allow you to do it, but yeah, you're going to mess something up and not get as big of a refund or have to pay more than you already needed to pay.
So, the lunch breaks, they're generous. They're generous. Usually, I feel like in the US, people take a 1-hour lunch break and they do not deviate from that 1 hour. They make sure that back at their desk or, their post by the 1 hour mark. Whereas in France, I've seen people take that 1 hour suggestion as they wish.
Suggestion.
Right? An hour 10, hour 30, 2 hours in some cases. In France, the month of May is notorious for a lot of breaks, so be careful if you move here. There's a day off every week. And last but not least,
is that holidays?
So French resumes are incredibly different from American resumes. French resumes are colorful and it looks like you made them on Canva. I'm pretty sure you all made your resumes on Canva. And people often like to use keywords instead of really explaining and putting value to the work experiences they've had. In my personal opinion, in my observation, and you put your photos on your resumes and your ages. What? Anyway, these are allez, ciao.
Wait, you weren't putting your photo on your resume? I feel like I've always done that when I used to submit resumes. I would spend a lot of time on my resume making sure that it looked pretty good. Yeah, what is it, May? Is there a lot of holidays or something? Because if everyone's using their vacation time in August, I would assume just, country holidays. So Emily was not lying. I don't know what that means. Someone says, is this my sign to look into moving to France or just the EU in general? I'm telling you guys, these American creators that go out here and make all of these expat videos, that's why more and more Americans keep moving to Europe. It's because of them. So don't get mad at me because I usually just make fun of them.
So, what are you up to these days? Oh, I'm unemployed. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Life has never been better. I'm off to Spain tomorrow for a couple of weeks. Huh? Holiday? 2 weeks of sangria, beaches, and 0 alarm clocks. But you just said you're unemployed. Oui?
You get paid.
In France, you get on average 70% of your previous salary every
70%.
month. What? For 2 years. That's basically a paid sabbatical.
That's so long. 2 years? It's so crazy.
You need to have worked at least 6 months and contributions paid in, but once you're in, bon voyage. Are there...
Wait, so can you work for 6 months and then go on unemployment and claim it for 2 years and then go back to work for 6 months? And then is there, I would imagine there's some type of rule in there that you can only do it a certain amount of frequency. I don't know. Somebody let me know in the comments from
Any
France.
rules at all? You don't have to pretend to job hunt aggressively, if that's what you mean. Just tick a few boxes online. Why would anyone go back to work? Exactly. I guess you're not. I'll be looking for jobs from a sun lounger in Malaga. I need to move to France.
All right. French unemployment is basically mini early pensions. Work 6 months. This guy says it. Work 6 months, take 2 years off. Work 6 months, take 2 years off. Repeat, repeat. The younger version of myself would definitely have probably attempted that.
No one arrives on time here. What? Yeah, if you're on time, you have to warn us and wait in the parking lot for the late ones. Ah, you've got a master's degree, right?
Yes.
That's absolutely useless here. Here, they are all buddies of the boss. Oh, very literate cousins. Guarda, that's our sales director, Mauro. Look. Oh, Mauro! 2 plus 2? Mucca. Great job, my man. Okay, come. We use this room when we... Ah, there's karaoke competition in the meeting room. Come.
Karaoke competition in the meeting room? That was pretty funny. The art of doing nothing perfected Italians. And that's why after 2000, they flew to Britain after 2008-14 madness. I'm not too sure what they're referencing. Somebody says master's degree being absolutely useless. Same here in England. Is it? Maybe my statement earlier about degrees not being as important was kind of true. I don't know.
Italians work 5 hours a day.
Oh, we got a lot of text here. I lived in northern Italy 2 years. Italians work 5 hours a day, take 5-week vacations, have nice homes. Italians have nice homes because they're generational or bought with help of parents. All right, we're going to check out. We've seen this guy before. I don't think this is this his channel? Yeah, I think so.
Italians work 5 hours a day and they take 5 weeks of vacations and have nice homes. I love how people are naive about my country. It makes me very happy because many of the bad things are hidden, but I need to be very honest. The average income in Italy is $30,000 a year. The average price of a house where the income gets close to $30,000 a year is pretty close to the American homes. Because you talk about Northern Italy. Northern Italy tends to be much more expensive. The reason why most Italians have nice homes, either because they live with the parents. If they don't, they get help from the parents to buy a house. If you come to Italy as an American with an Italian job, I can tell you this because I know Americans that came here with an Italian job. It will take a little bit of career and saving money to actually being able to afford a house that you're gonna like and that you think is nicer than the American one. The thing, in terms of bureaucracy to be able to buy a house, access to credit, it's easier to buy a house in America than in Italy. You have no idea how fucking difficult it is to get a mortgage in Italy. Even if you're putting a 40% down payment. You want a guarantee. Most cases they have, you have your parents co-sign shit or else they will not give you a loan. In America, at the age of 24 or 23, I don't remember if it was 23 or 24. Anyway, one of these two, I was able to buy my first house with a 20% down payment by myself as a signer, and the approval process was 20 days. As an Italian, that to me was amazing. That's the moment where I realized this.
I had the exact same thing when I was 22, bought my first house, 20% down. Pretty easy. I didn't even have good credit at the time.
This country is amazing. Work your ass off, save money, and America will reward you. Be a lazy bum, don't do shit, complain, you're fucked.
Yeah, essentially. Someone says, I'm happy you shared this. A friend studied psychology in Rome. He is working in HR. Salary is 1,300 euros. He is switching the company for a salary of 1,400 euros. This is the reality. And somebody said 1,300. I would imagine that's monthly. Or is that that's bi-weekly? That's probably actually pretty good.
Now I'm going to work for my next
Oh, it's a good one. I've seen this
2
one
hours,
before.
and then I'm going to be back at the bar, have a glass of white wine and a little tramezzino, and then I go back to work for 2 hours until noon, and then I go for an aperitivo, and then I go home for lunch, and then I sleep until 3, and then I go back to work until 4, and at 6 o'clock I go back to the bar and have an aperitivo, back to work for 2 hours, and then go home to have dinner. That's the Italian way of working, and it works.
Somebody tell me if this is true or not. I don't know if he's just kind of like bullshitting me. I mean, it's a good work schedule. The thing is I feel like I could just get more work done if I got all the work done, and then I can just go off and go have my time off. I don't know. All right, it says the Italian workday. This kind of work ethic has been around for ages. Would you prefer this or the Canadian way? Not too sure what the Canadian way is. This schedule is only positive if you enjoy your work. Americans can never do this. Too much driving. Yeah, absolutely true. Yeah, that would be a lot of driving, having to leave and go home and take a nap.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like if you moved to Milan and worked in marketing for a global corporation? Well, let me show you.
I'm stopping for a cappuccino before work.
Jesus, Rebecca, the wind is so loud.
To try and, I don't know, get some sun. It's a nice day.
Work starts at 9 a.m. or 9:30, 10, depending on how many coffee breaks you have in the morning and what time your team comes to the office. Mine comes at 8:45, so I'm already here.
Not all of Milan looks like this, but this is kind of the newer
This looks nice.
businessy district, so there's a lot of skyscrapers.
This is like that girl in France.
There's a food court and actually a massive grocery store, so I'm just gonna go there and get something.
They have great prepared stuff. I'm having Mediterranean pasta. It's really common in Europe to get food tickets for lunch. They can range from like 7 euros to 10 euros, and you get one every day that you work in the office. And you can also use them at the grocery store. So actually, I typically pay for my lunch because it's only 4 euros, and then use like a mass amount of the tickets when I do grocery shopping.
Food tickets. I've never heard of this before. Where do you think she works at? First comment says international corporate queen. I don't know. Marketing?
At home helps keep things affordable.
I only say that, you guys, because like every boss girl in America works in marketing.
Fridge.
Okay.
It's around 6 p.m. and I just left the office. Today at work I didn't film much because I'm not really allowed to, and I was working the whole time, but if you're curious what I did, I'll give you the quick rundown. In a nutshell, what I did at work today, I manage a couple products that we sell in Italy and the marketing campaigns
Swear to God, I have not seen this.
associated with them. So I briefed the sales team and the e-com team on the upcoming campaigns for the summer and how they should forecast their stock for the coming months. I also built a proposal to present on Monday about a event that we want to partner with in the fall. That's kind of it. It's honestly a pretty chill day today.
I'm gonna go into Sephora and kill some time. It has Kosas, which I love, but I'm not convinced they actually sell it in Italy.
All right, we got the point. I don't want to see her doing shopping. I was curious about the work.
Here's everything I do working 5 jobs in Portugal. So
Five
first,
jobs?
I work at a hotel. This is just a little hotel. It's just 8 beds and it's located in Lagos in Portugal. Most of my jobs are. So twice a week I come and I make breakfast for the guests, and we make eggs, bacon, fruits. Like, it's actually a really, really good breakfast and we get complimented all the time. Then I also do baking an extra day a week on top of the 2 days I always do. And then
I can already tell I like this girl's lifestyle. Cooking? Great.
check-ins and admin. Secondly, from the same people that own the hotel, I work at a guest house, so I also just do the check-ins. It's a bit more self-running, so I don't need help as much. And they also own a rooftop bar and cafe, which I sometimes help out, but rarely. Job number 3 is working at this party bar in town. I work here from like 10 till 5 a.m. twice a week, sometimes a third day, but it's a really fun job. Okay,
Damn, that's a lot of working. 10 to 5 a.m. on top of your other jobs? This girl
My
is
fourth
hustling.
job is doing content creation and social media management. Here's actually a little fake kitchen I made for this brand called Ste G, which is like mushroom blends that give you energy and are good for magnesium. And secondly, I work at a different party bar in town, and then I work for an outdoor cinema, which is really nice, and they do this twice a week in Lagos, Portugal as well. And the last company that I work for is kind of owned by the same, but it's 2 surf shops, and we get to take really fun content outside. And then I also do social media consultations and trainings. My 5th job is one that I just started doing this year, which I actually really love, and it's wedding content creation. This is such a beautiful day to be a part of, such lovely couples. You just see love and happy people, and this is really, really fun, and I'm hoping to explore.
I tried doing it for like 3 or 4 years. It gets old really quick. I can tell you that much. I used to record videos for weddings, and yeah, I mean, it's cool being with people on their special day, but after a while, you start to realize, oh, it's the exact same songs played at every wedding. Everybody says the exact same thing. We all have to like go through and do this dance of, I don't even know.
A little
It's
bit
crazy.
more of this next year. And last but not least, the most important job in my life is being a dog mum. They literally are the reason I work so hard, so one day I can afford a big backyard, give them the life they deserve, which, to be fair, they do have it good, but everything I do is literally for them.
Cool. All right, she's out there hustling. 5 jobs. I felt like she named off more than 5 jobs. No? Someone says, you have ADHD by any chance? Somebody says, girl, if you're trying to make money, why Portugal? Genuinely, as a Portuguese that left. That's interesting. Me overthinking every aesthetic detail of my business. Meanwhile, Portugal. Straight to business. All right, I would definitely stop in here and buy something. Are these alcoholic drinks? If they are, I'm stopping. I'm grabbing one. Looks like €1 or like 1 or 2 euros for a drink. Okay. Somebody says location, location, location. Selling drinks on a steep hill is guaranteed business. Yeah, that's just smart business right there.
Welcome to our factory in Portugal. We're proud to be working with a family-owned factory in Portugal that has centuries of expertise within leather craftsmanship. Our electricians work 8-hour work days and they have 1-hour break. We're proud to be working with this factory because it's known for working with some of the best luxury brands in the world. We only work with top-tier quality Italian leather. They are handmade here in Portugal, and you can find all our bags at bybono.com.
Okay. All right. 8 hours a day, 1 hour lunch break. I used to get 30-minute lunch breaks, so an hour is a step up for me. Comment how many times we have said Portugal. Okay, we need to say that. Non-Portuguese speakers in Portugal, how do you get your job? I can't do the music. I don't even know if I can do this video. Probably learn Portuguese, I would say. Like a little bit. Might be a little bit easier to get a job, I would assume. I don't understand I mean, I get it. Like, I would say if you're working for one company and you've been with them for a long time and they have another office and they're like, we want to transfer you to this new office in Portugal, and you move there, I could see, well, you wouldn't need to find a job, but why it would take you a while to learn the language. But you like willingly move somewhere and don't learn the language, it just seems crazy to me. Can people not get corporate jobs in Portugal with only English? Somebody says, are you a hairdresser? She says, yes, I am. Just open your own hairdressing business. Learning language of the place where you live is a must. Yes, I'm gonna give that one a heart right there. Oh, I believe that too.
Come spend a day with me at work in Finland. Today I rode my bike, and I like to arrive at the office around 8 and leave around 4 in the afternoon. Once I got all set up, I caught up with a few colleagues and then got straight into work. I'm a content marketing specialist, so I manage our social media accounts, write articles, and produce videos. I love our office. It's super bright. And
the office reminds me of, oh my gosh, like Ready Player One a little bit.
Total international environment.
These little cubes.
I have colleagues from all over the world. We have nice corners where you can stretch, and also a recovery room that you can book a session in once a month to just relax. Our official company language is English, and all my work is in English in meetings. Of course, I love to speak Finnish with my colleagues at lunch or for coffee when I can. 4 years ago, I dreamed of working for a Finnish company, and now it's a reality. Thanks for watching. Moikka!
I should probably living the dream working in Finland. This should be the standard. Looks amazing. Yeah, I like the little room that you can kind of Get a little breather in. That's nice. I think I've seen one of those in a co-working space that I used to have an office in. What about jobs in government? That's a odd question.
With all the news about the 4-day work week in Finland, a lot of my American friends have been asking me what my workday looks like, so here it is. I start each day by stepping out of my sauna and picking up a mug of hot chocolate that my company hand delivers. After my breakfast of muesli and pine needles, it's about 11 a.m. and I'm ready to start the day. Since we all work at Spotify, my first task is to listen to some ambient synth music in a felt blanket. It's around this time that my daily $5,000 bonus comes in the mail. Next, my 36-year-old Prime Minister and I gossip about Eurovision. After some cold herring and more pine needles.
Gossip about Eurovision.
I take a break from my daily walk through Narnia. Out there, I see my neighbor Björksnas. He's 35, so he retired 4 years ago. Soon it's back to work for my first and only meeting of the day. Together, my coworkers, boss, and I read the chapter from Das Kapital before I have a call with our American colleagues. For some reason, they've been working since 9 a.m. By now, it's 3:30. Since I worked an hour of overtime, I get another bonus in the mail. At 3:45, I'm in bed because that's when the sun goes down.
All right. Someone says, do Americans even know where Finland is? Probably not. Maybe. I'm sure we could find a geography video of somebody, an American, trying to find Finland.
A lot of people saw my last video.
Okay. This was placed right after the previous one. Let's check it out. What Finland thinks an American workday looks like.
I said, okay, well, what do you think the American workday looks like? So here it is. It's Sunday, and at 4:30 a.m., the American sprints out of bed in record time. After saying the Pledge of Allegiance, they prepare a quick breakfast of 12 eggs and a gallon of whole milk. Next, they write the emails for 3 hours. Many of these emails are to their Finnish colleagues, asking us why we haven't woken up yet. At 7:30 a.m., they have their first meeting of the day, where they and their co-workers all say big numbers, then make $1 million. It is now 7:34 a.m. After eating every fast food there is, the American goes back to do squats at their desk and memorize a PowerPoint. After calling their Finnish colleagues again, the American gives up on sending us reminders and does all the work we were assigned. We are fine with this, they are fine with this. It's a good relationship. At this point, I stop thinking about what the American does because I am tired. By 1 a.m., they get ready for bed, put the spreadsheet under their pillow, and get tucked in by Jeff Bezos.
The Jeff Bezos?
Get tucked in by Jeff Bezos.
That was great. All right, that was really, really funny. I'm glad they threw that one in there. It's funny because I know my brother was, maybe about a year ago, was working with a lot of people, I think primarily in the UK, but some other countries, and he expressed to me, he's like, dude, it is so hard to get a hold of them. Waking up in Finland at 7 a.m. for work looks like this. Getting back from work at 4. Still dark. Bro, you signed up for it. You signed up for it. Someone says, except Finland is not a Scandinavian country. Oh, he put living in a Scandinavian country up at the top. Common mistake. Common mistake. I'll give him a pass on that one. I think I thought Finland was a Scandinavian country as well. Top 10 high-paying jobs in Finland. Legal professionals, aviation professionals, 108,000 euros, and then of course medical always coming in at the top. Why did they do it like this though? Why didn't they do medical professionals at number 1 and start at 10 and go up? Data scientists and analysts, all right. Renewable energy specialists, interesting. All right, next one.
After work sauna. In Finland, it's not unusual to go to sauna with your co-workers.
Let's turn up the heat.
I gotta say, sauna with the coworkers that's definitely different for someone like me.
The wood that we burn here in the sauna are gathered from the van life garage. You know, all that wood that is left over. It's a win-win situation.
While we wait for the sauna to reach a nice 80 degrees Celsius temperature, Alexi, Teppo and me, we sit around the fire. And
this
then
is great.
It is time for löyly. There is no lake to jump to, and we use the garden hose as a shower when we enjoy the sauna at this industrial area. But this rustic vibe has its own charm to it.
That's pretty cool. That was wholesome. Which coworkers is the question? What is this? Damn, dude. Rocking the still equipment. That's like the best equipment. Oh yeah, I could tell from a mile away. I used to own like 8 of these things. That's pretty cool. Forest in Finland. He's just got hashtag forest still work Finland. All right, cutting down trees. Pretty cool work.
I like the pay is pretty decent and we get really well looked after. This is where I live. I literally live in like a little chalet.
Working in Lapland. I'm not too sure where in Finland.
There's 4 of us that live in here. We've got 2 bunk beds in here. This is where me and Maisie sleep. Then this is the kitchen. And also, we have our own sauna.
Of course.
Pretty luxurious. There's also a whole upstairs area and 2 more bedrooms where Max and James sleep. On top of this, we get our food included. So we get given things like ham, cheese, wraps, bread to make ourselves breakfast, lunch, as well as cereal. And then for dinner, we get dinner delivered every day. So we've got, I think, chicken burritos and avocado tonight. And it's different every single night. So literally the only thing I spend my money on pretty much is alcohol or extra snacks that I want. And skiing as well, but we get a discount on skiing. So it's like 40 euros if we want to go. There are loads of different accommodations. Some people live with 10 people, some people live with 40 people. I live with 4, and there's 3 houses as well that are around. So we have like a little neighborhood, which is quite cute.
This has got to be like a seasonal work. Yeah, seasonal work. Okay. I used to do that. I used to work on a Christmas tree farm back when I was a kid for seasonal work.
I would like to ask for all foreigners in Warsaw, how is it for you, the job searching situation? Because I've been looking for a job for quite some times now, and I don't know, is it my CV or is it the job market situation that it's crashed out, or is it just a bad timeline since we are about
to
end
Polish?
2025? And what do you guys think? Please comment in the comment section and let's discuss about it.
All right, we got to look at the comments then. Currently in the IT industry, there are serious problems with finding a good job. I say from the perspective of a senior in the industry. All right. I left my comfort zone behind. AI drop shipping took me straight to 9,000 euros. All right. That's not only Poland, but in the whole EU, sadly. I'm from France and it became harder and harder. Huh. All right. So this girl's having a hard time finding a job.
They also have a culture of working so hard. And I guess that's a common theme for countries that have like lifted themselves up. And that's my experience working with Polish people when I was in esports. Like the first esports show, I went to Poland, I went to Katowice, and I was in their office and they were like, yeah, we're doing a World of Tanks show today. And I was like, what are you talking about? We have the Hearthstone show tomorrow that we've been building for months. Like, no, it's fine. We're going to do it today and then we'll do rehearsal tonight. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, oh no, we just won't sleep. Yeah. And so they didn't. And so they stayed up for 24 hours. They did an 8-hour show for World of Tanks and then spent 8 hours rehearsing. And then we did 12-hour show, and then they went to bed. And this was normal. Obviously not every day, but like this was a not uncommon on a weekly basis. It was like, holy shit. I've heard that from other folks as well. It's like that is a common thing of part of this culturally is Polish people going, we are willing to work unbelievably hard. And then with all due respect, compare that to the French. French love to take some time off.
I love the
French. They
love
to take
love
Fridays
hitting
off
my
early.
French coworker up on email, and then it's like, I'm gone for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, you hit me up on Friday. Friday's not a work day here. Ooh, but Mondays we leave it.
That was actually pretty funny. All right, so the Polish work really hard apparently from that guy's point of view. Working for esports, like a video game company.
Living in Poland. I'm a software engineer. How did you get the job? I got my degree in computer science. And what are some pluses and minuses about your job? I can do my work whenever I want and from which place I choose to. Disadvantages? I'd say there are none. If somebody wants to get into this field, how much does an entry-level person make? 6,000 just to get experience. So it's not an easy field to get into right now. Very saturated. There are not many places to get a job from.
All right, so job market, what did he say? Software engineering?
The different lines and standards that countries will take politically.
Poland 4-day work
is
week.
so funny. Poland, like, famously has this attitude towards immigrants where they're like, we're gonna actually shoot you with a death ray that kills your entire lineage if you step 1 foot across the border.
Why are we talking about? All right, let's keep going. Let's hear about
their rules of engagement are to shoot people crossing the border.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, 4-day work week. Let's do a 4-day work week. Yay! Fucking picking and choosing where to be progressive. Like, it's so funny.
Is that it? All right. So Poland has a 4-day work week, apparently, and also pretty strict immigration policy. Someone says, I see no problem with that, honestly. What's the problem here? I don't understand. Poland is literally the best country in Europe right now. Okay, all right. We're not going down that rabbit hole.
In other countries, you go to the bar after work, you do something, you go out eating dinner. In Switzerland, after work, you go straight home. You go home, you eat dinner at home, and you go to sleep at 10 p.m. And then you repeat it the next day. You wake up at 6 a.m., go to the train, go to the bus station, whatever you need, and you be like, SBB, I need a ticket, please. And you go to work. And you do this over and over and over until it hits Friday, and then maybe you go out, you do something for your personal life. Switzerland is always so locked in, bro. We locked in. I grew up here, I live here, you know that. That's what I miss. I love Switzerland. It's a very great country to live in, but we need to get better socially, okay? Let's do something after work. Let's do something together, man. Come on.
All right. So it sounds kind of like American work environment. Someone says, sorry, this is your life. Switzerland has a very nice lifestyle. Restaurants, cocktail bars. I never go home. So it's apparently just this guy's job that he's working. If you're in Swiss, DM me. All right. Someone says, is it true that in Switzerland, if you call the police and the police come, then a bill comes with a charge? I don't think I've ever heard that before. I don't know if that's true. That sounds kind of wild. I would believe it, though, if it was true.
Here's what a day in a life working and living in Switzerland looks like. Today I started the day brushing my teeth, but my eyes started twitching, so I was like, what the heck? Anyway, can't forget about the sunscreen. It's a daily ritual. I highly recommend it. It was time to throw out my trash, so I did do that on the way to work. But bruh, as soon as I left the house, it was scorching hot. I legit forgot I had sunglasses on my head, so I didn't use it. Anyway, this is how you throw out your trash here. Once I remembered my sunnies, I put them on. Everything was so much better. This is probably my favorite part of my commute. I love the greenery. And once I made it to work, I got myself
She works at Google. She makes
a milkshake and drank that on my way to my desk. First things first, get out my laptop and start my morning ritual. I've been kind of obsessed with cold brewing my green tea. Don't judge, it's actually so good. Highly recommend trying it. And then I started work. I signed up for a Pilates class at noon, so I went ahead and took that. It was pretty intense.
A Pilates class in the middle of the day?
So I took a shower before heading back to work. This time I did stop by the cafe to get myself a cold brew. And before I knew it, it was after work. Today I was meeting up with a friend for dinner, and so I headed over to Old Town for the first time in a really long time. I love this place, it's so magical. I should come here more often. Anyway, I recorded this wholesome moment of these two guys fist bumping. How cute is that? And arrived to the restaurant a little too early, so I did stop by a store to do a little bit of shopping.
All right. That was the work day. All right, so that makes sense that she's able to live in Switzerland if she works at Google, right? Pretty sure they all get paid like astronomical salaries. Debating moving to Switzerland. Do you like it? ? I think that was the whole point of the video, was to show that she does like it. Someone says, what's the minimum wage here?
This is the reality of finding a job in Switzerland as a non-EU national. I love Switzerland as much as the next person, but one thing that I can't deny is how difficult the job market is for us. Yes, even more difficult than finding an apartment. Switzerland has a strict yearly quota for non-EU workers, and only
8,500 workers. Okay.
High-skilled professionals can...
Wait, hold on. I think it said only 3,500 permits. 8,500 qualified workers in special third countries. Up to 3,500 permits can be issued.
The workers and only high-skilled professionals can get hired, like specialists, managers, or experts. Before hiring you, employers must prove that no Swiss or EU candidate can do the job. And even then, permits are limited and highly competitive. But that doesn't mean that you should give up, so here are a few platforms to help your job search. I'm not simply listing these websites, but I've actually had experience of being interviewed.
All right, so we got someone looking for work in Switzerland. Apparently it's pretty hard if you're not a EU EU citizen? All right. Passport privilege or birth privilege is real. Like literally, even though you are a skilled professional. Yeah, there's honestly some truth to that. There definitely is.
Why work in private equity in Geneva? Besides it being in the center of Europe, making it easy for you to fly out any London, Paris, or Milano model, it's also the most expensive city in the world. You get paid more than anyone else, but because you're Swiss, you always remain humble.
I want one of those watches.
You would never tell a friend, your monthly salary is my monthly rent. You're surrounded by luxury, watches, tailored suits.
Okay, this is what I expect most people in Switzerland to live like.
5-star hotels, which pushes you to achieve more, work harder, and never settle. You have access to the best of everything.
You showed me your socks?
Schools, and chocolate. My personal...
Is this like some type of ASMR video?
...favorite are Sprüngli, and they're Luxemburgerli. Trust me, and try them. They're the absolute best. So, do you agree with my decision? Or if you don't...
Alright, okay, I've had enough. A day in my life in private equity in Geneva, Switzerland. Goldman Stanley investment banker is the first comment. Someone says, I always thought you were from Zurich. Is there any reason why specifically Geneva? Almost all Swiss people who work in finance usually stay in Zurich. Okay, interesting.
Welcome to a day in the life of a line cook at the 1-star Michelin restaurant Clay in Zurich, Switzerland. My first task was prepping pastry rings and chocolate balls for dessert, which you'll see later. Weighing, shaping, and rolling out their hot dog buns, which are made fresh every day. Several moments of the day were clearing up our space and wiping it down and making sure that everything is clean. Getting closer to service, I helped prepare one of their first courses on the menu, which you'll see later. We were given a treat which tasted like chocolate, but was actually a byproduct waste of barley from beer production. Zizi, the owner and chef of Clay, Dar, and Core, shows me how to make her tortellini from scratch. This team is like no other, and just before service, we have a short little dance party to keep our energy high throughout service. The pressure of plating wasn't like what I've experienced before in other restaurants, and actually they don't use the word chef in their kitchen because they don't believe in a hierarchy. It was a blast to work in this kitchen, and it was like one big happy family, and I think you can taste that in the food. And it gives me hope that one day I can have my very own restaurant and take some of these principles with me. Thank you, Zizi and Clay, for
Did you see that plate?
I can have my very own
what?
Restaurant and take some of these principles with me. Thank you, Zizi and Clay, for having me stop by. Let's do this again soon. Stay tuned to see where I cook next.
That would honestly, it would be an awesome job.
Beautiful things don't ask for it.
For those who ask how we go in and out of the river in Switzerland and commute from work, yeah, we've seen this. That's probably one of the coolest things that comes out of Switzerland. I thought there was another country that did that, like Slovenia or something. So, all right, that was good. We covered quite a bit of countries, not all of them. That's because we're going to have a part 2. So drop your country down in the comments below. We'll try and add it to the list for the next working in Europe video, and appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.